All right, what's poppin' party people? We are back, new and improved, for a new episode of Pop Talk. This is your man, Professor Nim, sign on for the Casual Ran.
What up, though?
And Coach Dave is back with us.
Oh.
Our man, Boston Jared is on assignment. He will not be able to join us for this week. So I know a lot of y'all have been trying to get at him on the comments and stuff like that. So your haters are gonna have to wait, but he will be back next week. I'll say. This is kind of a slow news cycle, but we want to make sure that we touch on a couple of things for this week. Starting off with the heavyweight division, where we have the unified heavyweight champion Usyk, who is taking on UK's Daniel Dubois, who is a young upstart, but fairly untested. When he did step up against your boy Joe Joyce, he was left with a fractured orbital bone and was actually TKO'd in that fight. But he's been able to bounce back with some nice wins. If not a bit shaky in those, but Frank Warren, his promoter, thinks that he has a really good opportunity to upset the apple cart, and he's not trying to make the fight with his horse Tyson Fury. So this is what we get this weekend. We're gonna give our pundit picks towards the end, but we want to kind of first talk about this fight, give a little bit of a breakdown, but also kind of situate it within the larger heavyweight landscape and see where we're at. Right, this has been the division that kind of carries boxing traditionally, at least. And there's been a lot of starting and stopping, and we're not getting the fights that we want from this weight division, right? We had a couple of good years, particularly that was driven by the fights between Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. But now as we sit, Deontay Wilder does not have a fight scheduled to date. He's been rumored to supposed to fight Andy Ruiz at some point. That hasn't been made. We saw the less than impressive performance from Anthony Joshua, but he did get the job done and knocking out Robert Helenius in the 7th round. And we are still not sure if they are going to make that fight between Anthony Joshua and Andre Wilder. And we know that Tyson Fury is fighting in a boxing debutante, and Francis Ngannou, who was a former UFC heavyweight champion, but has never had a professional boxing match, and what resorts into a gimmick fight. So where do we stand at right now with the heavyweight division? Do you see within the we'll start with Coach Dave. Do you see us having any type of closure by the about this time next year? So like in a year's time, do you think that we'll be any closer to an undisputed heavyweight champion, or will we be playing just kind of ring around the rosies where these top heavyweights are not fighting each other, right? Because I would take any permutation of the kind of big four fighting each other, whether except for well, actually I take that back, right? We don't need to see Wilder against Fury again. We don't need to see Usyk against Joshua again. But I wouldn't mind seeing Joshua against Fury, Fury against Usyk. Particularly, that's the fight that should be made. But I wouldn't mind seeing Usyk against Wilder, or even Wilder against Joshua, or even Wilder against Usyk. So, Coach, what do you think that we're from a year's time from now? Where are we going to be standing at in the heavyweight division?
So I give you two answers, man. I think we're going to be standing in the same spot, and it's going to be, a whole. It's going to be like the damn Jake Paul, Floyd Mayweather comedy scene if we don't kick our foot in the ass of some of these sanctioning bodies and make them have these fights to happen. And I mean, kick foot in the ass turn it sideways, and then snatch it out. I mean, I'm glad to see that, Dubois is fighting. But look, man, you hit it on the head, Cam. No, we don't need to see, Fury Wilder again. But, look, I don't care if Usyk got 2, 3 belts and Fury got one. Make these jokers fight. But you got, Daniel Dubois, whatever, is getting ready to fight, Usyk. And I kind of like that. I don't care if you get, Zili Zhang or whoever fighting Usyk or somebody, just get the boxing sanctioning bodies to make these doggone fights so that the heavyweight division is not like, a circus show. So that would be one of the things that I would say, could possibly change it, within this next year or so, or whatever. Then the next thing that I would say, man, is just, really keep your eyes on, I would call them the second layer, but yet up and coming. Oh, and yeah. So that second layer, was kind of at the top, but possibly could do something if given another chance, whatever. So I'm talking about those cats like Jared Miller, Jared Anderson, talking about those cats like even Andy Ruiz, man. I know he kind of slept and got happy with the money when he was first Mexican heavyweight, and he went out there and effed it all up. But I just see two things as possibly helping us to shape the heavyweight division. I just want to be crystal clear. Kicking foot in the ass of the boxing and sanction authorities. I think that would be the first one. Just make these guys fight. And then on the second thing, I say just looking at these up and coming, cats, man, and hope that they just do enough to make some name to where they are given a chance, and then even then, become true top contenders, or talk be taking place about giving these guys a shot, man. Those are the only two things I see that can fix it. Other than that, man, MMA fighting, box, it's gonna be a clown show, man. That's what I think.
All right. Yeah, thank you. That's very, very insightful, Coach. And particularly, and we'll talk about that too, because there is this kind of second tier of up and coming boxers who have an opportunity to bring some incitement to this weight division. So, what say you, the casual Rand, in a year times from now? What do you think would be the state of the heavyweight boxing?
Yeah, I'm on the same thoughts as Coach with this, and I think the linchpin will be Tyson Fury. The WBC is going to have to strip him, because he's going to make $40-50 million with this fight against old boy from the UFC. So he's not going to have the incentive to fight. So he's already retired 2 or 3 times. He's come back. He's going to have this fight where he's going to make $40 million. So then next year this time, what's going to motivate him to come in to fight if Usyk is still undefeated? What's going to motivate him to come in to fight Usyk? And when Usyk is already saying that, look, I'm not taking chump change for this fight. So I say the WBC, which is probably the least of the organizations that will strip somebody, is going to have to eventually strip Tyson Fury for inactivity, defending that belt against true opponents. But at the same time, it is sad that the best we can have on the WBC side is if Wilder was to beat Joshua, Fury Wilder 4. No, I don't want to see that. And I don't think that Fury will actually sign for that fight. But if Joshua were to fight Wilder this year, that's what the promoters is already talking about. The winner will get Tyson Fury. And I'm telling you, if Wilder, no matter that, Fury beat Wilder fair and square, but at the same time, he took some ass whooping to give it some ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? So that
I don't
takes.
know about that though. I mean, well, but how many? They fought 3 times, right? How many rounds did you? First of all, that second fight, he got mollywopped. He didn't run around. I don't think he went a minute.
So you saying Tyson didn't get dropped nan one time?
He got dropped, but I said, tell me how many rounds you think he won total in there.
No, I said he got it. I didn't dispute that.
Your words.
You
said he took a
them right hands make the lesser men retire. So you know what I'm saying, taking them right hands, even though he came victorious, it still does damage. Still does damage.
I think the reason that he won't fight the guy is because the guy's been disrespectful. The guys called him a cheater. The guy, after the fight, Deontay Wilder said, "I don't respect you." After Wilder tried to go up to him after the last fight, to shake his hand, he said, "I don't respect you." The guy's a sore loser. The guy has never given Tyson Fury any kind of credit. Why would you give that guy a payday and an opportunity at the lineal championship when he hasn't even acknowledged you as the better fighter when he's not?
So at that point, what are your choices?
Usyk. Fight Usyk.
Yeah.
That should be the first and foremost.
Yeah,
that
fight
should be
Usyk.
first and foremost.
What I'm saying, if Wilder wins,
it's been what, 2 years now?
No, if Wilder beats Joshua, he can fight Usyk.
Who can fight Usyk?
Wilder.
Wilder. But then we're still in the same problem of Fury just holding belts. Belt.
Yeah, I mean, but like, listen, if there's if somebody wants to be a clown and do their thing over there, then there's some more serious.
So that goes back to what Coach Dave said. You got to strip them or put them champion in recess, or you know what I'm saying, put them out of the pasture. But he can't just.
I wouldn't mind
sit on the belt and not fight nobody.
I wouldn't mind that, and have have the WBC. Like, I wouldn't even elevate anybody. I mean, they may, but I would have somebody fight for that belt. I mean, I wouldn't mind that at all, even if it was, Wilder and Andy Ruiz. I wouldn't mind that at all, but it'll get some kind of traction. I mean, it'll muddy the waters because I like I like history, so I like tracking the heavyweight title. I like the lineal champion and kind of following that person through. And for all intents and purposes, I still think that Tyson is considered the lineal heavyweight.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I would agree with that. This Usyk Dubois fight, man. Even though Daniel took that L, he is on a 5-fight KO win streak. 1, 2, 3, 4-fight KO win streak against lesser opponents. But hey, he's still young. So 19-1 with 18 KOs. He's still a dangerous fighter. I mean, he moves his head. He has some sharp punches. So I mean, it depends on where we haven't seen Usyk in a minute. And you don't know what his headspace is. Still, the Ukraine war is still going on. You know what I'm saying? You don't know if he's stressed out, or you don't know if he's been training correctly. So anything can happen. I would love, even though, you know what I'm saying, I'm saying this, and Usyk is my number 3 pound for pound best fighter in boxing, but there's a lot of outside factors going on and that could be going on in his life with this Ukrainian war and stuff like that. But and Daniel Dubois is a live fighter. He's not an old has-been. He's not a youngster that can't throw punches, or he is a decent fighter. So I wouldn't poo-poo this fight, man. I'm actually looking forward to seeing it and seeing because. And I say that because I don't think Usyk has that like traditional one-hitter quitter as traditional heavyweights have. He'll beat you and he'll beat you up, but I don't see him having a one-hitter quitter. So that means, you know what I'm saying, bigger fighters like Dubois, man, he has a chance. As a heavyweight, man, you one punch can change the fight.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we love about the heavyweight division. But Coach, go ahead. I was gonna kind of throw it to you next on your breakdown.
Yeah, man. So I would even say, let's, like, if we slid into even like those the second tier, man. I mean, this division could be fixed, man. Like, just go ahead on and have a damn box off or whatever, man, with, whoever, Tyson, Usyk, damn, Deontay Wilder, and, whoever else you want to put up in there. And then, slide on down the damn, even if you want to put Ruiz up there, it's fine. But slide on down the damn Jared Anderson, Joe Joyce, Juggernaut, you know what I'm saying? Slide on down, man, and get some of them, them top, second tier ones fighting, because if you put all the top four, whatever, together, it's gonna make or break. Most of them jokers old as hell anyway, either old in age or old and just ass whooping. You know what I'm saying? And then get that second tier going on it, man. And then this division can be fixed up, man. It has some promises, but then I don't know, man. It just fell all straight to Hades, man.
Yeah, I mean that like Zhang Zhang, Joe Joyce trying to get his get back in September.
That's scheduled, yeah, for
September. Yeah, the 23rd or something like that is September. 23rd. Yeah. So and then that's the winner of that should be like a Usyk mandatory. Definitely the Wilder Joshua fight should pressure Usyk from the IBF standpoint. So there's ways to work around Tyson Fury just sitting on shit, but it's just principalities. If the dude just sitting and he doing Mayweather fights, it's time to become Mayweather. Hang it up and become exhibitionist.
And that's the only thing that I give credit to Mayweather for that, bro. He exhibitionist, bro. He out, he gone. He ain't trying to hold on to nothing. He just making his money here and he gone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Give him credit for that, man.
Yeah.
So, Coach, what are your thoughts on how this fight will play out with Daniel Dubois and Alexander Usyk?
Man. I think the Cavs hit it on the head, man. We ain't seen this guy, but if I had to put some dead presidents on it, man, honestly, I'm gonna go with Usyk, man. I go with.
Yeah, go ahead. So the last time Usyk was in the ring, just for context, so was about a year ago, almost to the date. It was August the 20th when he beat Anthony Joshua, which was I didn't kind of realize, but I mean, there was just some fugazi things going on. It was a split decision. It was obviously a closer fight than the first one, but I think that Usyk was clearly the winner in that fight. But so by the time they step in the ring this weekend, it would have been essentially about a year and a week since the last time Usyk last fought.
Yeah, man, maybe Usyk by decision, man. He might be looking a little ugly and a little rusty, but I think he should beat the fight, man.
Yeah.
I agree too. I think that while I agree with the Cajuran that Usyk does not have that kind of one hitter quitter, I think that Daniel Dubois is in trouble of something which I think is a lot worse, which is just a kind of a psychological, beatdown where he just, when it gets to the later rounds, where he's just walking into where Usyk is just turning him and walking him into punches, and he almost just kind of quits just because he essentially has no answers, and he's only 25 years old, and those kind of right. I think fighters recover maybe a little bit better from those those kind of flash knockdowns within the heavyweight division, but I think Alexander Usyk has a capability to just really put on a boxing clinic, and for guys at this weight division, that could be something that can leave some lasting damage. It's already somebody who is dealing with the broken orbital bone, and those are the kind of fractures that don't necessarily they heal, but they're not actually right. I'm not sure if they are kind of come back 100%. And I do want to say that Casual Rand is correct. He is on a 4-fight, 4 KO win streak, but his last fight was super shaky against kind of a nondescript fighter and Kevin Lorena. And Dubois was down 3 times in the first round. So if y'all hadn't had opportunity, I would go and check out that fight. It was super, super shaky. I'll say that, but he showed some heart in there, but I think that your man Frank Warren might be, he might be kind of cashing out on his young buck. But all right, let's go ahead and we'll end this segment, but let's go ahead and we'll give our pundit pick. So just give your winner if you think it's by a KO. Go ahead and give that round. But we'll circle back to the Casual Rand. What is your pundit pick for this fight this weekend?
Usyk. I'm taking what you said into consideration, but I think Daniel steps up this fight and last the 12 rounds. But Usyk by decision.
It's by decision. All right. Coach Dave, what say you?
I'm gonna go with Usyk. I'm gonna go with Usyk by decision too, man.
All right. So nobody picking the upset. Well, I'm definitely not gonna pick the upset, but I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna say that because I saw Usyk kind of put some hands on Anthony Joshua. We're not really sure what Anthony Joshua's mind state was, but I think that Usyk is gonna want to kind of reintroduce himself to the boxing public. I think that he's gonna really put on a performance. I believe they're gonna be fighting in Poland. Is that
War? Not sure.
Yeah, whatever War's Claw is at. But I think that he wants to also kind of remind the boxing public and also Tyson Fury that, so this fight is in Poland, that I'm the man. I want to be considered the top heavyweight out there. And I think that after a few kind of competitive rounds, I think that he might even get stunned a little bit by Daniel Dubois, who can crack. I just think that his feet are just too heavy. He's a pretty heavily muscular guy, similar to Anthony Joshua. And I think that the physical toll and the mental toll would get to him around I want to say around like the end of the 10th round, so maybe like the 11th round. And I could see his corner saving him from further punishment. All right. So there you have it. Another erudite kind of breakdown from the boxing pundits. We gave you our breakdown of the Alexander Usyk, Daniel Dubois fight. We also kind of situated that within the landscape of where heavyweight boxing is at this time. Before we move on to the next segment, I want to remind you to like and subscribe to this channel. We're slowly growing, but we are growing. We also want to make sure that you check in to our Instagram page, where there's a lot of really kind of quick one-hitter quitters, as the Casual Rand would say, and also just kind of keep updated on things that we're doing, different fight parties that we're going to be hosting. And that is Pundits of Pugilism is where you can find us on Instagram. All right, peace out. We will see you in the next segment.